Welcome to the PHLY Sixers Watch Along presented by Coors Light. Visit CoorsLight.com/PHLY basketball to get Coors Light delivered or find a store near you. Derek Bodner, Kyle Neubeck, I'm Devon Givens. Bree is back with us. Again, great to have Bree back as we are hanging out with you on this Sunday afternoon for Sunday basketball, Sixers Bulls. And Joel Embiid is playing for the Philadelphia 76ers.
And it's already 0 for 2.
Hey, he's firing off those shots. He's going to have limited time this afternoon, so he needs to squeeze all the shots off that he can get. And so good to see him back out there. Let's see if they can get a win. Paul George with a bucket right there. Derek, he likes that fadeaway. We've talked about that left side, right side on the low block there for his mid-range jump shot. That fadeaway worked. We've seen it in Indiana and in Oklahoma City, Los Angeles. Yep. And to see it here now, he really does like that spot.
Yeah, and look, when you have the kind of size to elevate over top of defenders like that, it's a better shot than it is for most people.
Mm-hmm.
But he likes to. You saw that the other night where he went down on a low block pretty early on against Magic and got some good looks. So you expect he will continue.
Flying
to do that.
start for Joel here between 2 missed shots and a bad turnover, and then fouling Zach LaVine on an N1 in transition.
Yeah, just let him go. Let him get the layup and live for another possession because again, you have limited time. And Kyle, right there, you can see where the fact that they don't know each other well enough, that the miscommunication of thinking that for whatever reason he thought that Paul George was going to cut there in the middle at that spot, which was a tough pass. You know the idea, but that's when you still pull the basketball back and don't make that pass. But that's where the lack of familiarity overall, you see it right there.
The one other thing that I see in that play, and this is primarily what I'm looking at, he is getting the ball average touch so far from the basket. There are very few deep touches we've seen him get in the limited action that he's gotten. Now, whether that's how they're trying to run the offense or the fact that he can't leverage his strength as much as he's been able to in the past, that's not clear yet to me. But that showed up there are some stats that people have been tracking on that. I want to see him getting the ball closer to the basket, however they need to engineer that. Hey, Tyrese Maxey got a foul call. That's novel.
Mm-hmm. He thinks he's shooting, of course. I would say the officials are telling him side out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think he has much of a case on that one, frankly. Now, I will say, what did you think on when the last 2-minute report for the Magic game the other night, when they said he was fouled? Yeah, that's not continuation, Tyrese. Did you think that they called it a non-shooting foul?
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was continuation based on he had the ball in his hands as he was getting fouled.
And he never took another dribble. He went right into a shooting motion, which he was already doing. So in the moment, post-game, Rich and I talked about it, and that was exactly what we thought it was. We thought it was a 3 free throw opportunity, but they said 2. And sometimes you just wonder what they're seeing, what they're thinking, because of the fact that they, make a call like that after looking at it, number one, in the moment, but then also looking at it after the fact. How did they see that as a not gather 3-point shot?
Yeah, and I mean, clearly it doesn't matter because it's not like, as we learned last year in the series against the Knicks, it's not like a 2-minute report is going to change the outcome of the game. But yeah, if they're going to call a foul there, and clearly he then went into his shooting motion, even if it wasn't necessarily a natural, like you wouldn't expect a running 3-pointer for 27 feet.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a typical basketball.
Boy, these guys are off to a flying start so far.
Sunday afternoon, Kyle. They want to watch the Eagles.
Afternoon games in general are I'm in the minority on this. I can't stand matinee games.
I love matinee. Now, I don't think it leads to good basketball, but I appreciate it being in the afternoon.
I'd rather, if you're going to play an early game, give me like the 3:00 game. That's okay my wheelhouse. 0 for 4 for Joel.
And I would say the last 2 he probably should have made.
They were decent.
And that drive to the basket. Yeah, the 2 threes, you expect him to be a little short on those. Just coming back, no legs on the lift. Yeah, 12-4 deficit for the Sixers, 7:51.
Can we do
quarter.
the just coming back thing on the no lift anymore? Because he hasn't had lift basically at all.
Well, he hasn't played regularly since January of last year.
Wow.
That's a long ramp up, man. January. That's a long ramp up.
He played 8 games? He didn't play in all 8, did he? He came back with 8 games left.
No, he did sit in one of the Olympic. Or you're talking about the end of the season?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Olympics because he did sit out of. Was it the South Sudan game in the Olympics? I think he sat out of, which was funny because in the scrimmaging portion of their schedule, he actually was one of the few guys that played well in that game that they almost lost. And somehow in the Olympics, he was the one who got the boot to the bench. But
Royale Ivy's South Sudan, Mario Shayok's South Sudan.
Those guys
hard.
came to play.
Yeah,
I really respected the product that they put out there because they had some NBA guys, right? Like Wendy Gabriel and Shayok and whatever, but not a team that had a comparable talent to who they were playing. And they were getting in people's whats.
No, Ivy deserves some credit there.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any connection to South Sudan, does he?
No, not that I know of. No.
But I feel like that's more common in like international soccer, for example. Yeah. The managers kind of move around from country to country, whereas
you just see it less in the Olympics.
Yeah.
The cool part, of course, is with Luol Deng putting that together, he handpicked Royale Ivy. So knowing him from their NBA days and all the years that they've known one another, something was there for him to pick him out. And it looks like he got the right guy to at least lead that national team. Royale Ivy is an assistant with the Houston Rockets also. So for people wondering if he's coaching in the league anymore, he is an assistant.
Look, we're in a bad place if we're talking about Royale Ivy and South Sudan.
Yes.
4 minutes into a Sixers Bulls game.
12-4 with Gershon Yabusele and Paul George, the only 2 baskets for the Sixers. And the last one for the Bulls, a 3-pointer top of the key for Nick Vucevic, as Joel Embiid misses his first 2.
Don't worry about what I'm doing with my phone right now. I'm definitely not going to pull up the Eagles stream.
I mean, we're definitely not streaming it over. Oh, what the? Hey.
Yeah. And don't worry about it. If you've been with us on these watch-alongs, you know we eat food.
I can multitask here. Come on now.
We got candy, we got donuts, and we've got lunch hopefully on the way. Well, lunch is going to be on the way.
I restarted our stream.
And we have all that stuff together here. So no worries. 12-4 though. 12-4. Again, our show presented by Coors Light. Choose chill. We hope that you're choosing chill in a good way for both the Birds and the Sixers this afternoon.
I'm not going to be chilling about the Sixers
Look
game.
At Joel.
It keeps,
with the hot dogs.
With Benny the Bull.
Oh, it's a cheesesteak. He's Benny the Bull's punching the cheesesteak. I got you. Well, I would punch it too from Chicago. It's not from Philadelphia. It's not all that
I mean,
good.
depending on the place here, I'll punch some Philly cheesesteaks too. There's some bad spots.
Well, we know. Yeah, we know
good
those.
spots and bad spots.
Yeah, I heard someone recently talk about how they're not good. See, the lack of chemistry. I don't know what's that. Now, was that the Tyrese? I think he was throwing that to Tyrese, not Embiid.
He was.
They should know better. All right. Make sure you like and subscribe.
This has been a train wreck so far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're a little lucky that it's not a bigger lead for Chicago already. Gotta hit that. Yeah, you just have to hit this.
Yeah, I don't care how much time off you've had. You just took 4 shots before that. You got to knock that one down.
Well, this is why I tried to say before the game, like, I don't need him to try to be Superman here. And look, these are good looks, especially like the first 3, maybe, okay, whatever. But these last couple have been good looks. But he doesn't need to have like a 40% usage rate tonight. No. That's just not what they need from him.
Kelly Oubre knocks down the 3 to keep going his pretty good streak of games where he shot the ball well.
Joel with a defensive play there at least. So that's trying to see any signs of life from him so far.
My 33.5 over is looking pretty good.
Is it?
33 shot attempts, maybe.
I was going to say, if you include shot attempts, you might be on to something. You're at 0 points. I don't think he has a rebound or and I don't think he has an assist.
No,
so
that's what I'm saying. It looks
and
pretty
Drummond's
good.
Already in 5 minutes in.
Full disclosure, I messed that one up. I was supposed to send under, and I sent over accidentally. I wasn't going to say it during that time, but I said it now.
Say, you're leading the people astray.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they didn't bet it anyway.
All right, well, Jared McCain's in, so the real franchise player is now on the floor. That's it. You can't throw that pass at Drummond's ankles. Normally, I'm like, yeah, Drummond's hands are terrible.
Yeah.
That's a bad pass by Tyrese.
And it has to be a hard bounce pass where it bounces up into his hands, not him having to bend over to pick up the basketball.
It was like behind him a little bit too, right? It's like watching. Yeah, that's a horrible.
That's
pass.
terrible.
That's like a receiver getting open and is going across the middle, and he's got to like turn around to get it, and you threw it at his ankle. That's just bad.
I pulled up our wireless administration utility. We have 1 or 2 people streaming various games at this point.
That doesn't impact our upload,
No,
right? Well,
no,
yeah,
we're
that's
good.
what I thought.
By the way, Mount C10 in the chat says Tyrese needs to get comfy with throwing a lob there to Drummond on that particular play.
Look, you don't have to tell Devon
The
that.
lob king of Philadelphia over here.
Although, did you see the lob that Drummond tried to throw down the other night?
Yes, I did.
Maybe not throw him to Drummond.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Bona maybe, although then
He
you have to worry
airballed
about
a lob
him.
attempt.
That was one of the most insane.
Good to see Tyrese Maxey hit his first 3-pointer.
I was about to say I hated that shot, but good to see it go in.
Yes,
sure.
exactly.
Whatever can help him build some confidence.
That's the kid.
They are not responding well. Chicago's playing fast. They're getting into a lot of early offense, and they have apparently not seen that on tape at all. So,
the finish.
At least Yabu's hooping.
I like the finish. I actually thought he still could have made that pass to Drummond for the dunk, but nice finish, playing under control.
Good to see Lonzo out there. I know we've talked about him several times recently, but
yeah, he had 9 points in the loss on Friday night.
Just what a crazy story his career has been.
You know what he highlighted too in one of the stories I read on ESPN? He was pointing out, remember the questioning of the BBB basketball shoes, the family brand? He said, yeah, I can't help but think that it might have had
You think?
a little hand in it.
You think, Lonzo?
But I like the fact that he said it. You know how his dad is out there, and
yeah. But I will say about LeVar, you don't really hear from him much anymore.
Not
either.
much, but he still pushes back. If my kid wasn't doing, he thinks that if they were still doing the training that he had them doing, this is
He
him.
wouldn't have gotten hurt.
Exactly. So that's why I bring up the fact that I like that Lonzo was able to say it out loud and look, just like, they asked the question, he answered it. He answered it honestly.
I still never really rock with guys who wear the T-shirt under the jersey, though.
I'm not a fan.
You can't.
College, high school, yes. Pros, no. Now these are compression because of
it's a little different.
Shoulder sometimes and all of that stuff, but Drummond has a baggy sleeve.
It was the biggest red flag with Jahlil Okafor for me. A big man wearing a T-shirt under the jersey is like the reddest of red flags. Looking out there looking like Khalid El Amin.
Nice.
Play Drummond.
Drummond against his former team.
That was either a foul or a travel.
I like Yabu trying to get out of the way there. He was not expecting Jared to pull that.
Wow. Like I said, the real franchise player now on the floor. They go on a little bit of a mini run, we'll say. Good defense, better shot. Nothing you can do there. That's what's so frustrating about guys like Zach LaVine. That's a horrible shot, but he's so skilled that it doesn't matter. Boy, Tyrese off to another something start.
Glad you said it.
I listen. At a certain point, it is what it is, right? He hit the 1-3, and I'm glad he made it, but it's a tough shot, and hasn't made a single other shot.
Yep.
And he's got the bad pass. He has not been a positive contributor so far, and that's been the case in far too many of these games.
Wasn't a good night for me and Rich that night when we said that.
Yeah. Well,
was that Wednesday?
We're not an insignificant piece of the season in, right? We're a quarter way through the season. And I know he missed a little bit of time with the hamstring, but he's got to pick it up. And especially now, like all these guys are on the bench. And I'm sitting here telling you, Joel has looked like crap so far. He's 0 for 5, bad turnover, bad foul on LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
these guys are max players. I'm not going to sit here with kid gloves and be like, oh, actually, it's okay that the guy who is supposed to be one of your franchise pillars has been
also,
pretty crappy.
It's a very different thing to sit here and evaluate what has happened on the. Yeah, that was absolutely insane.
There it is, Bree.
The Andre Drummond moment of the night right there.
I will say, at least the first part was out of necessity, but
the twirling layup was not.
Not to mention he could have made a pass.
Well, the pass would have been equally adventurous.
It probably would have, but that would have been probably a better result than what we just saw.
But it's one thing if we sit here and we just evaluate what has happened on the court. Wow. That is literally our job. We try to do it equally for everyone on the team, whether it's Joel or Paul or anyone. It's another thing to make it personal. I don't think anyone's sitting here saying like Tyrese is a failure or I have no confidence in him in the future. We're just saying they need more out of him. And it's objectively true. I don't know how you could possibly push back against that. I did go back and listen to you and Rich on that post-game show. Nothing went out of bounds. It's just a lot of times with these young players, I've said this before, they always go through like this trajectory where at the beginning, they're perfect, they're untouchable, they're going to be the best player in the league, can't say anything negative about them. And then when they eventually and inevitably don't meet those unrealistic expectations, people turn on them. And it's like, no, you can hold them, you can evaluate them early in their career, you can project growth forward, and you can, criticize when they're playing poorly and still have the perspective of what they can become when they, develop fully. And obviously Maxi is still young. He has not been in a really fortuitous spot with Paul George out so much and Joel Embiid out so much. He has had to shoulder a lot more than he was expected to, but he has not been good enough. Both of them can be objectively true, and you don't have to lose your minds. Nobody's saying that Tyrese Maxey's a bad kid or that he's not a
maybe you should just play more like Zach Vaughn is right now. I'd say that.
It's okay. It's okay.
But that's the tough part too, man, is that you always have to make sure that you follow it up with, we still think he's a nice guy. And we're not attacking the guy's character. We're not attacking because
certainly not attacking his work ethic or anything like that.
No.
We've talked about it openly of how great of a guy he is, how hard he works, and that as much as he's struggling right now because of the work, to your point, he's going to snap out of it. Right now, he is not playing the best brand of basketball that we've seen from him.
No. And I think you're seeing the weaknesses that in previous better times, not that they didn't exist, but they were just less important because he was able to play off of Joel and be more of the true like number 2, or frankly, a lot of times it would be number 3 or number 4 when Harden's here and Tobias is getting his touches and whatnot. But there's more pressure on him now and there's more scrutiny, and that's okay. Like, this does not have to define his career, but his struggles have been a big part of the early struggles for the team. It's okay to say that. Benny the Bull is just about to rain popcorn all over. Yep, there you go.
Wow.
Well, thank God all those people just so happen to wear rain slickers to the game,
Yeah.
Very convenient.
Very convenient. Same one as Benny.
I hope that's not buttered popcorn.
I know.
It looked like it was buttered. I mean, maybe not freshly buttered, but it wasn't plain.
So Rich asked the question in regards to Tyrese Maxey and Paul George. What would their record be if they were just going the rest of the way?
Without Joe?
Without Joe. Paul George as healthy as could be, the rest of the way.
Well, but
and
even
what
healthy
type of
as
team,
could be, he's still going to miss a lot of back-to-backs.
So what type of team would they be?
35 wins?
And
maybe you can talk me into 500 if everything goes right.
So that was my answer of they would be somewhere fighting for that 6, 7, 8. And at worst, they would be in that 9, 10 range with those two as the lead guys.
Maybe 35 to 43 would be my range. And that's a wide range, but that's in part because Paul's going to miss some time.
Exactly.
Both planned time and
Kyle Lowry's in the game.
And injuries.
Yeah.
But that's also because when you remove Joel from the equation, like a lot of the center options are # not great.
Yeah.
I do feel like Drummond lately has looked more like the guy maybe we anticipated coming into the year. Like, as it's fewer of those uncontested rebounds and more he's going to get the ball. Benny the Bull is a wild man.
I don't know like why you would want popcorn thrown at you. Like, it's one thing to celebrate.
Imagine being a janitor
fun.
after the game. Like, what? Oh, that just seems rude.
Get some confetti, shoot it prematurely like a normal organization.
Good call.
And make sure you do it before the game has actually been won, too. That's
just shoot it prematurely, yeah.
You won the first quarter. Now shoot the confetti off.
I feel like there needs to be an oral history about that at some point.
Twice.
About the confetti game.
Wasn't the guy who launched it wearing a shirt that just said, like, I don't care?
Did he really?
I feel like there was a photo of that guy that went around. Yeah. I thought he got that off late, honestly. KJ's isolation defense this year has been outstanding.
He did a good job on Wagner. By the way, bad news for the Magic. Wagner out for a while.
Indefinitely,
Same
right?
injury that Paolo had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very unfortunate for the team, but also certainly for Franz, who he's been putting together an awesome season.
Yeah.
But they can't catch a break with their.
No.
Paolo's going to come back probably in the next week or two, I believe, and he's going to have to be the guy. And that it's a real shame for a young team too, because that's a team that you want to get those two guys specifically as many reps as you can next to one another, playing off of one another, just like we talk about with these guys. Like you want to, they're the two building blocks. You want to keep scaling up, and it's basically going to be two different versions of the team for like 2 months of the season. Yeah. It's not great.
No.
That's like minimum 2 months.
And we
of the
thought
season.
they might take a slide with Paolo going down. They've done a really good job of staying in there. Can they do the same thing? Paolo's an awesome scorer, just like Franz Wagner is, and you would expect them to still be able to pick up wins. But you're right, man. Trying to put together your season the way that you are with your two best players and each of them missing a month's time is not great. Drummond looks, he's going against his former team. He's like, I'm coming after these dudes.
Yeah, I like seeing him actually go and get the ball.
Yep. And he snatched that last rebound.
Yeah. Honestly, considering that this was supposed to be maybe his first game back, and he came back a little early with at least veteran playmaker Kyle Lowry isn't committing awful turnovers.
Yeah, overpassing there.
I
got to shoot.
Why is that guy playing?
He's got to shoot that three.
Nick Nurse's security blanket.
He is providing nothing. I love Kyle Lowry. He's had a great career. He is bringing nothing to the table.
And it's not even like this isn't a slump. He's just got nothing left physically.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't blame Kyle Lowry for the fact that he can't move in his late 30s.
I can't move either, but nobody's going to pay me to play professional basketball. But like at the beginning of the season, he shot 15 for 23 or something like that from three, and I think he fooled some people.
Yeah.
And in that span, I think he made 2 or 3 shots inside of the arc. Well, all of a sudden, when that three-pointer is not going in at a completely unsustainable 65% clip, and you can't get anything inside the arc, you might not deserve to be on the floor.
I will say, thank God PG is starting to look more like PG.
Yeah.
He has not been perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he has given them some real stability. And with Joel playing the way he has so far, which is to say not well, if Paul was also giving them what he had given them to start the year over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, boy, we'd be in a real miserable place right now. Or you could argue we're still in a pretty miserable place. They're down 10 to the Bulls after a quarter. Joel's 0 for 5. Maxi's 1 for 5. Actually, Joel's 0 for 6.
Eagles are going scoreless on the quarter.
Again. You got to keep the trend going.
But here's the thing. That's on brand for them.
We
don't even need to pay attention to the first quarters anymore. So Wawa Marvel, talking about Lowry in the chat, said he trusts Kyle to move the ball and not turn it over. That's all it is. Well, unfortunately, he already has a turnover in 2.5 minutes.
That just led to a basket on the other end.
That went the other way. And those are going to be – I agree that that's in Nurse's head why he's playing, right? That
Absolutely.
It's just a guy, as Derek said, that's Nick Nurse's security blanket. Unfortunately – that's who Kyle Lowry used to be. When you can't create separation from people, it's hard to be the type of playmaker you need to be, right? The angles shrink. And Kyle Lowry is also 6 foot flat, maybe, right? And it's not like he has a huge wingspan that he can be throwing passes around people, and he can't see over the top of the defense. It's very hard for him to play the way he has always played, given his current limitations. And again, it's not his fault that he's old by NBA standards, right? It happens to everyone. I do blame the coach for continuously putting him back out there, having the same things happen, and then let's give him another go.
Now, go back to last season where he was playing 30 minutes out of necessity and just right, just playing all those minutes. And we're talking about 11 minutes here. And in this case, 2 or 3, but 11 from the other night. And yeah, I just imagine if he had to play him again in those 30+ minutes of what that might look like, just because he's pretty much done at this stage of his career. He's had a Hall of Fame career that I would argue. And
I'm sure you could get in some very spirited arguments about that, because he is a guy that a lot are it's Kyle Lowry.
Exactly. It's not, I'm just telling you what the Hall of Fame does. And the guy has had 6 All-Star appearances, a championship.
Winning the chip helps.
So is Joel Embiid not going to play any minutes with? Dude, again, what are we doing here?
It's one thing to be on the floor. It's another thing to take an early clock ice on.
Why? And now he's stuck on Vucevic. Great. All right. At least they got the scram switch. Is Joel Embiid not going to play with Jared McCain at all?
Yeah.
That looks like what the rotation is right now.
Yeah. Jared McCain should be in Kyle Lowry's spot right here.
I'm sorry, man. I don't care that you won a title together, Nick Nurse and Kyle. There you go. There's one rebound for Gambling Givens. Working on that parlay.
33 to go, baby.
Yeah. That's right.
They got to get Joel some deep touches, man. It cannot all just be him hanging around the perimeter. Dude.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Turnovers weren't included in that 33.5, right?
Nah. Man, he's laboring with that brace on the run full speed. Paul George has those instincts there. Is pretty good.
2? You're up to 2?
2. That's 2. Count them. 2.
Boy,
he should.
We are in the bad place.
He should have 12 after those shots he missed. Look at that, man. I'm trying
to. And look, after we were just saying that they have looked.
Now that one I'm not going to blame him for, because he got
that's a hand grenade.
Yeah.
After we were saying they've looked crisper, more together, all that. Bring one guy back, and it's a train wreck.
And their transition defense, their off-ball defense, stuff that they were relying upon, were real bad in that first quarter.
Complete mess.
Gotta get McCain in the game. All right, so
yeah, that one's on Paul.
Druid Training says, can you guys put up a score or time somewhere where we can catch up with you all? Well, we'll just announce it as we go along of what it is. Right now it's 33-23, 10 minutes to play in the second quarter, with Embiid, George, Martin, Lowry, and Maxi on the floor at this time.
Look at that. See, a deep touch.
Hey, and that's 4. You're up to 4.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, he's got 4 rebounds. You're up to 6. And an assist 7.
The fluidity there, much better. But also, you're just asking him to do a lot less when it's just him versus Nicky Vooch in the post.
We need a Devon Givens counter up on the stream.
Dude, some of these turnovers are just disgusting.
What kind of counter do you want from me?
No, like a counter of the points, rebounds, assists.
Like a Dev's pass the other
day. Yeah. That was. Yep.
When he jumped up and...
Ron asks, why does this team give up so many corner threes, wide open corner threes?
That's been a staple of Nick Nurse's defense.
Nick Nurse, the way they play when you're selling out to try to create turnovers.
That goes back. Like, you can go back to his Toronto days. Like, every year he was top 2 or 3 in forcing turnovers and top 2 or 3 of giving up corner threes. It's part of his
Caleb back to the locker room again.
Yes, it is. And Oubre is in the game for him. Lowry's still in.
Nick Nurse going to turn me into the Joker.
There you go.
There
Three
you go,
more.
Joel.
And a free throw.
You're up to 10.
And potentially a free throw.
A rebound and 3 points. That would be a good trip down the floor for Gambling Givens.
Listen, man.
But look what happens.
You
He gets two possessions where he's getting closer to the basket. Good things are happening. It's a simple game, right? Sport is played 10 feet in the air. The guy who's 7 feet tall, get him close to the rim when he's trying to work his way back into a rhythm.
Although with those two mid-range that we always talk about are layups.
Those should be.
He should have knocked those down.
He should make those.
Yeah.
But we've seen this many times before, right? Where if he can get himself to the free throw line, even if he's struggling, that helps him build a little bit of momentum, get the confidence going, and then that mid-range, then the elbow jumper, that'll come.
Wow.
All right.
11.
Hey, he's so clumsy.
Jeannie is apparently ahead of us on the stream.
Okay,
She
Gene.
was saying, yeah, Tyrese, like 2 minutes ago. So I'm guessing our streams.
Well, that's a 7-0 run for the Sixers.
Much better here.
7-0 run for the Sixers.
And
as
Kyle
we
Lowry will be in the positive, and Nick Nurse will say, that's my guy.
That's why.
He was a huge
That's
positive the other night.
why. Druid Trading, since you wanted to know where we are right now 7-0 run for the Sixers. They have cut the
We're in the commercial
deficit.
break after the run.
Yes, 33-30 right now, and it is on the clock, 8:46 on the clock, just so you know exactly where we are. And Eagles right on brand, not scoring in the first quarter. So that's how it
Comes
goes
with the
for
territory.
them. They're playing. It doesn't matter if they're playing a good or a bad football team because they start lighting them up in the second, third, and fourth, and there it is.
Give the ball to Saquon, please. That's all I ask. That's all I
Another
ask.
simple concept.
I really like when it comes down to it, I just believe in the most basic stuff. Like, give the ball to your best players, give them as many opportunities as possible to score. It's just across sports. Do whatever, however you have to engineer the offense and the structure in order to make that happen. That's kind of my guiding belief.
Mm-hmm.
Call me crazy. Also, play less of the old guys and more of the young guys in a sport or in sports that relied almost at least 75% on your physical attributes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, just a thought.
It's a good thought, though.
All right.
man.
Let's see. Do we think they are able to take the lead before halftime? Down 3 right now with 8.5-ish, 8:46, whatever it was
I want to
left.
see what the Chicago substitutions are here because a lot of those guys.
I mean, I want to see what Nick Nurse's substitutions are, too.
I say that just because of the missed corner. As the question is asked about the corner threes, they've missed a few consecutively now, where maybe the personnel changes and those are going down with a few other guys. So, but I say yes, and then it just goes on the back and forth of taking the lead from
A lot
each
of
other.
Sixers fans at the game in Chicago, apparently.
Really is.
At least they've been able to find a lot of them on the broadcast. Yeah. Looks like a husband and wife with matching hats.
Nice.
Maybe not quite matching. She
the
got a little
pom-pom on
the
the
pom-pom.
top. Wow. 15 points the last 4 games for KJ Martin.
Pretty good.
4
I mean,
boards.
the field goal percentage is insane.
That's old school field goal percentage. Look at the
That's
Daily
like DeAndre
News.
Jordan
Yes.
field goal numbers where he
I
never
was
had
going-
to create anything
I was
for
going
himself.
way back because when growing up, looking at the Daily News, you go right to the back, look at the stats, and always had the field goal percentage as one of them. Rasheed would be at the top. Tim Duncan would be at the top. Shaq, of course, at the top there. Oh, TJ Tucker Horton out there. Taylor Horton.
Taylor Horton Tucker might be one of my most hated players in the league, not because he has ever done anything, but because Lakers fans acted like he was the second coming of Christ during the first 6 months
Not
he was
Lakers
there.
fans. They're
But he was a
notoriously
particularly
rational.
egregious one because he just wasn't good. Lakers fans have gotten a bad rap because there have been times where it's so like
Give it to him.
Alex Caruso was a great example where they talked him up and you watched him was like, oh yeah, that guy like impacts the game. There you go.
The
Now
problem
he's
is
cooking.
when you talk up everyone, you're naturally going to be
you're
right
not
every
wrong.
now and then.
All right, big guy's cooking a little bit here.
That's
this is what we want to see.
9-0 run, and just as we talk about
That MFer Horton Tucker.
You see that a lot with young players, though, where like there are just some people who will get excited about every young player, and the moment they're like, "Oh my God, he can dribble," and it's like, well, if you take that stance on every young player,
bad turnover too.
Eventually, you are going to be right.
Another corner three. There we go.
That's brutal from
So
Joel.
back-to-back threes there. Bang.
There you
Bang.
go.
I could sense it.
Finally.
Bang.
That feels like the first three Lowry has hit in like a
month and a half. Yeah.
Now, granted, he was hurt for a few games, so that's part of it too. But he also has just missed almost everything.
Tyrese got to stop stealing Joel's rebounds. Thank you. And
Gambling Givens is having none of it.
There you go. That looked like that one possession at the Olympics.
Well, he looks slight, doesn't he? I mean, I know you guys have seen him in person.
He's lost a significant amount of weight.
Yeah, he looks totally different.
But that,
you can't touch it. Pick the ball up.
In theory, as Joel gets his legs under him, that should give him opportunities to make more moves right there, right? The pick and roll to the elbow and then just quick one dribble move to the basket, which, as I was saying, in the Olympics, that game against Serbia, that was one of those plays that we were like, oh, I want to see more of this in the regular season, right? Where Jokic takes one step and it's just right by
gone. Yep. Decision made.
Because I'm overly invested in Gambling Givens here. He is now up to 19 combined points, rebounds, and assists with still half of the second quarter to go. He is more than halfway there, and we have 2.5 quarters
10
left.
points for
You
Zach
are lucky
Levine.
this is a purely counting stats bet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
why I chose it.
And that efficiency doesn't matter.
5 of 6 here in the quarter.
A pocket pass. It's just so nice to have something to go to.
Yeah.
Just a go-to set.
He changes so much. Clearly. It's not something
He is ramping up to a good game.
Yes, he is. And then he gets 4 days off into the next game.
Look at that. Stop, too. Now I really care about plus minus because McCain's on the floor.
Yeah, look at that.
Just give him the ball right now.
Look at that jump. Yeah, look at that.
But this should be an opportunity for Tyrese here. Oh,
bang.
Way short.
Look at that.
Gets a little fatigued a little bit.
Didn't love the follow through on that one.
Joel's
early seal. Early seal. You got
exactly.
Him. Hit him now.
Exactly. He's got to do it. He's got to throw it earlier, though.
I give Kelly Oubre a lot of grief. It was not the greatest pass in the world, but just get him the ball there and figure out the rest
I gave
later.
it a 50-50 chance he was taking that pull-up three, though.
Thank you, Kelly, for making the pass. I appreciate it personally. I like when the big guy runs the floor and he's got a smaller guy on him, get him the damn ball.
And he's got to drill that pass and not leave any air underneath that for the defender to come over and help out.
Like we got a 4th and goal for the Birds.
Was it 4th? I thought it was 3rd.
Well, I think they got stuffed on 3rd, didn't they?
You guys are watching a completely different game.
It's two
multitask. Third.
Oh, okay.
Multitask.
We're
a multi-sport show here.
I don't need to evaluate the form on his free throws. I can just look up and see if he made it.
Multi-sport show here. We love football.
When do we think Joel checks out of this game this half?
3-minute mark.
When did he come in? Has he been in the entire second?
3-minute mark.
Yeah.
He was out at 7-minute mark of the first and came in to start the quarter.
And then once he's out, we got to check the score to see how it goes the rest of the way.
2-point lead for the boys from Philadelphia.
9-0 run.
Oh, Bulls are falling apart a little bit.
Oh. Well, we said this is a bad basketball team. They need
I believe it, yeah. I like Io, though.
So do I.
So
do I.
If he could shoot, he would be a dangerous player. So, see if he ever gets there.
So, if you don't want Lowry on the floor, Eric Gordon, Reggie Jackson, guys, what do you do right now for that backup guard spot outside of McCain?
Play McCain. I think it's that simple. For me, I would, and so here's the thing, right? I don't know that that's going to allow you to win the minutes or win them by as much as you want to right now. But I would 300% rather try to develop McCain and bring him along as a guy who can run the offense as a guard, as a point guard, whatever you want to say, than waste reps on Kyle Lowry, who we know what his limitations are at this point. Look at that shot.
Now look at the pass too.
Any game that McCain plays fewer than 30 minutes is a failure. Like, you do not need to, if you end a game where Kyle Lowry's playing 15 and Jared McCain's playing 21, that's on Nick. That's
Josh
not on
Giddey
depth.
Stinks, by the way.
That's just on Nick.
That was my pick in the preseason of. So thanks, Kyle. He's been playing well too. Today he's terrible.
I can't stand him.
I mean, he's shooting like 32%.
Tyrese Maxey has 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Of course, Joel back helps.
Good defense by KJ. Get rid of the ball.
Nice pass. Nice recovery.
Well, I'm thinking the Sixers will be out at the half. Well, there's still 4 minutes left, but taking a
especially if he comes out of the game, yeah. Because you're going to need him to start the third quarter, so you want to, give him some time.
I voted in our poll and said, "Yep." Now that they're up by 8 points,
I voted as well.
Yep, 87% right now.
So a lot of good things here, and frankly, a lot of it is coming from Joel got rolling, but then they got started in the post, got a quick one, got the follow up with the free throw, and then they've been hammering the Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey pick and roll, elbow jumper, elbow jumper, elbow jumper. And frankly, some of this is just their defense has been good, right? They're getting stops, or maybe the Bulls are stopping themselves at times. They've had a couple bad turnovers, but they've been able to get Joel on those quick seals or the early post ups against some smaller guys here. And I'm very encouraged, not just by Kelly, but getting a couple of those early ones where these guys recognized big man's hot right now. He hasn't played in a while, but he is our main guy. Feed him the ball, get him the ball early, and that is sustaining their offense this quarter. Loving what I'm seeing.
Derek, you said you wanted to see them bleed that play dry, and right now it's working.
Yeah, no, they went back to it a couple times, which is good to see. And like we mentioned, it's just nice for both of them, quite frankly. It's nice for Tyrese to have a play that he can go to. He is playing with a lot of unfamiliar faces on the squad. So to be able to go back to Joe, where there's some built-in chemistry, where there's an action that can get either of them an open look, and still Tyrese is not necessarily hot from the perimeter, but just having the chance to go back to that over and over and over again with the guy in Joel Embiid who the defense is going to react to every time. You run that play, they're going to react to him every time. It's just good to have.
Yeah, and I think as the game wears on here, I actually think Joel probably might check out either now or soon based on what we think his minutes count is. As they get into the third and fourth quarter, that's where you can see, all right, it's Maxi time, right? Because they'll be sitting on that pass over and over again. And that should open up where Tyrese right now, 7 points on 8 shots, is not shooting the ball well. But if he's constantly hitting their best player at the free throw line and getting assist after assist, he's doing his job as the lead guard. So the scoring is still not there, or the efficiency is still below where it needs to be. But when he has Joel to play off of and feed, looking a lot better.
Not to mention, it's been a quiet Paul George run here because they haven't needed it. So when Embiid comes out, Maxi starts to get it going a little bit. Paul George will pick up the slack again as well. Maybe we'll see McCain knock down.
That was a heck of a play by McCain.
Great recovery, yeah.
Let's see who's in. We got KJ, Maxi, McCain. Joel's still out there.
What did I say? 3-minute mark?
15-0 run.
Yeah.
In the last 3 minutes.
They're about to score. There you go. There's your boy. Certified lover boy. Everybody knows the next part.
I want nothing to do with that part.
That's why I said that part, not the other line. I know where the line is. Oh, off glass. Banks open. absolutely
All
cooking.
right, so it's a good thing that you accidentally said the wrong thing on your over-under bet, huh?
It wasn't an accident.
Good defense there.
Watch how
Good
they
contest
switch
by Joel,
sides.
by the way.
It wasn't an accident.
Bad turnover, Tyrese. So that's
He's up to 27 already.
17-0 run now.
Yes.
No, because like
That was
Or
two,
did they-
Chicago
17-2.
scored.
They just scored.
Yeah.
17-2 run.
Okay.
it was 15-0, and then Chicago scored.
Triple-double alert, too, for Tyrese Maxey with the points and rebounds and assists.
Yeah, his assist total. That was the one thing last year when he was playing without Embiid. His assist rate, like basically assists per possession, dropped in almost half playing without Embiid.
Yeah.
And so many of those shots
Got
are
him
just
again.
Joel making those mid-range shots coming off of that pocket pass. And it's
Yep.
just you should see his assist totals uptick if Joel is in the lineup consistently.
Yeah.
That's why I think one of my preseason predictions was that he would average at least 7 assists,
Mhm.
and that has not worked
Pull
out
it
so
up.
far.
Oh, he's really feeling it.
Heat check.
I'd
Yeah.
give him the heat check.
Heat check time.
He earned that one.
It's
See,
let him go.
That's where you can see
Uh-huh.
he can't move as much in space anymore.
And he needs to just let him go instead of picking up a cheap foul there.
Although, is that his first foul?
The second, right? Did they give him the first one? The one that we talked about earlier? Let me see.
Not sure. So he was scoreless in the first quarter,
Two
right?
personal fouls.
Correct? Scoreless in the first?
Yes. I'll double check though. He had after one. He was 0 for 6 in the first quarter. So since then, he is 8 for 12.
Pretty good.
Since the first quarter.
Love seeing this because there were definitely some moments in the limited action we've seen him so far this year where it was like, what does he have in him at this point?
Just think about.
And even the first quarter.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, think about
he's 0 for
how
6.
you're reacting to the first quarter.
Yeah. So it's calming in a way to see that happen.
He had 2 boards, both offensive rebounds, and I think they were off of his shots, and 1 assist in the first quarter. Baseline. Ooh, McCain. Ooh. There you go. Got to find that.
Good relocation. Good pass by Paul. Bad defense by the Bulls.
So just look at where we are right now with Joel out 2 minutes. They're up 9 with 2:12 to play.
And you can still have Paul George, McCain, and some guys out there who you have a little bit of confidence in to maintain this lead. In fact, even improve on this lead against this team.
And look at what they did too. They went small ball 5 with KJ Martin instead of Drummond or Yabusele.
And that was real nice patience from PG on that dish to McCain.
See,
too,
I thought he
'cause
should've
he
hit
was
him
waiting
first.
for that. I think he was waiting for that flare out the 3 the entire time.
I don't like it when you have a cutting layup where the pass is there though.
Yeah,
Welcome to today's NBA, Devon.
Yeah.
that's
just
I'm with you.
when you're double
I'm with
teamed
you.
and it's right there. I understand he's a smaller guy, but that's where the hockey assist maybe comes in elsewhere. But you're right.
I think the smaller guy might have played a part in that.
Maybe. But the patience was great.
If there's one weakness in Jared's offensive game, it's that he doesn't always finish among the trees.
Look at that. That dunker spot for him just
Money.
lived there.
Now, do you remember when it was PJ
Martin.
Tucker in that spot?
Sure.
The extra pass.
Watching him try to clear the phone book jumping. That was painful. Now you have a guy who can take it to the other side of the rim and be the head up at the rim.
No, anytime PJ's not standing in the corner with the feet planted, it's just a wasted possession. Even in the Rump Classic, that's where he stood the entire time.
We got to get PJ on the show. He's here.
He is here.
He's
always
hanging
here.
around Philly a lot.
Let me see where.
Got to hit him with the too small on that one. And Kobe's not even that small, right? He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
And again, it's so deceiving, man. I think the hair is like, I don't know. Maybe that does something. Look at that steal. KJ. Look at that steal on the rebound.
He is, I mean, this is inspired basketball he's playing lately, man. Give him a ton of credit because it's a lot of it is just right place, right time, coaching staff empowering him to go after offensive rebounds. The finishing has been excellent.
He really legitimately might be their best defender. Not counting Joe because he hasn't been in the lineup and yada,
he's
yada,
been
yada.
Awesome defensively.
The impact Joe makes because he's a center that can protect the rim. But outside of that, perimeter defender, he has, I think, been their best, most consistent defender. Part of that's because Kelly, as gifted as he is and as good as the effort usually is, and I don't think the effort's been quite as consistent as it was last year. He still has moments of off ball where he just falls asleep.
Yeah.
KJ doesn't have those same weaknesses. And he offers more rim protection.
And that's why you can't trade him.
Oh, yes, you can.
I knew it. All right, we talked about Embiid coming out with that 2:12 on the clock.
Ooh.
2:12 on the clock. And they were up about 8. Right now, they are leading by
tough shot.
10 with 20.
That looked like it was going to fly off the backboard.
And they should get the final shot here, Chicago.
This is one where I don't care if he makes or misses it. I just take a Maxi and step back jumper with basically no time on the clock. They said, bring me that bozo Giddy up top.
That's on the floor, too. Hey, I get it. I recognize the defensive challenges. Not my favorite player.
Listen, I'm not saying I don't. After going through the Ben Simmons experience, I'm done with the guy who needs the ball in his hands
but isn't good enough
shoot.
To warrant having the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I just can't do that type of player anymore. What's with the Australians, man? Why can't we get more Patty Millses than Aaron Baines type players? Those are the good Australian exports. Dang.
Oh.
See, now that was the attempt inside where like Paul might have just gone up with that.
At least they get free throws out of this. Quiet Kelly. He hasn't impacted it in a bad way. It's just,
but that
3 was part big early.
Yes, yeah. But he was part of the run.
He was up there
that
too.
When Joel was cooking, he was one of the guys helping them get stops, and that's what I was saying on pregame. Man, he was up there.
I hate when I jump so high that I land on somebody else's head.
It's another one of those games where he's focusing more on the little things, right? And fading kind of into the background a little bit, and he's not taking ill-advised shots. He's not dropping his head or like losing. The toughest thing to do as a role player, or as any player for that matter, is when you're not getting touches, you're not getting shots, to constantly stay engaged on defense. And I think he's done a really good job of that. This has not been a high volume Kelly game, but he's still locked into the
shot.
game.
Yeah.
And he made it. Yep. And it came at a big time where they needed that 62-50 at the half.
So for the 85% or so of the people who said that the Sixers would be in the lead coming at the half, you are correct.
Up 12. And they did not lose the lead when Embiid went to the bench with that 2 minutes to go in the frame.
12-point game. That's a perfectly...
So like we mentioned before the show, if you were looking for one team to make you happy on this Sunday evening, it was clearly going to be the Sixers.
I'm going to go grab some food.
As the Panthers have a 10-7 lead.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and most importantly, what do our numbers look like for gambling? Both
your gambling numbers are looking pretty good.
Both.
You had the under on what was Levine's under?
No, I had the over 21.5.
Okay, so 13.
Okay. He should have. He missed like 2 shots. He should have made them. But go ahead, 13. That's looking pretty good.
And Joel Embiid has 27 combined points, rebounds, and assists. So you only need 7 in the second half.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And again, Tyrese Maxey, triple-double alert. He's at 7 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds.
Yes.
Right now. How many turnovers?
Still 2.
2. Okay.
2. Still struggling from the field, 3 for 8 overall, 1 for 5 from 3. He really needs, I don't know what's going on with that shot.
He might have a third quarter here where he where Paul George looks to set him up
and
get him some good looks. And now that Embiid has knocked down all these shots, then that's where maybe we'll see that the double team definitely comes faster. It gets there quicker. And he hits Tyrese Maxey for a couple of threes or something along those lines. Maybe get to the free throw line as well.
But it's just like he had that game. What was it? It was against
Charlotte?
Detroit and Houston, where he went like a combined 11 for 22 from three. And then since then, he has made 3 out of 26.
And look, so 3 out of 26. And I know I was the one that was bringing it up for the McCain part where we said we weren't worried about the shot. It was just that it wasn't falling. And he had that 3 for 21 3-game stretch. Yep. Then he had the 2 good games. And last game, he didn't shoot all that great. It's the same thing. And just because McCain,
but it's extended the entire season.
But I'm just pointing out, just because McCain is a rookie doesn't mean we can point that out and not point out Tyrese Maxey's struggle for that stretch where he is 3 for 20. What did you say? 24, 26, where he's sitting there at that number. Yeah. We can. It's okay. And why do we bring it up? Because of how good he is. That's why. That's the only reason why. So he will, and I have no doubt that he will snap out of this. No doubt.
Is now shooting 29.4% on the season. Okay. And you're just not going to get Tyrese Maxey to be Tyrese Maxey if he doesn't leverage that shot.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Birds down 10-7. It's wild. We haven't watched it. They can't be looking ahead to Pittsburgh, can they? I mean, come on.
I have only been glancing at the little
Got to find out
screen we
from
have
the
up
game.
here.
Find out from Fran what's going on.
Said I need revenge for Tyrese Maxey stealing my girl.
And it's a homecoming. Right? If you listen to Zach and Bo and Fran, they talk about he's from here. Little known, he was born here. He may not have grown up here, but he was born here. And then they moved to LA. So there's Bryce Young.
Not from here.
Bryce Young, welcome home. Not from here.
All right.
Go get your food,
get
man.
That food.
Yeah, I'll go after that.
Kyle's going to eat.
Here's our schedule for the week,
Devon,
folks.
I hope you like talking.
I do like talking. Here's the schedule for the week. Me and Bree got this. We have Monday, because of the NBA Cup schedule, right, Bree? Because of the schedule where the Sixers are in the losing bracket. They're in the losing bracket again. By the way, Sixers 13 second chance points. They have a plus.
No Vegas for us.
No, disappointing. Plus 13 there in the rebounding category. Disappointing. Our schedule this week is 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So we're here. Regular shows Monday through Thursday, 3 p.m. normal time. What are we
going to talk about all week?
Whatever's coming out of practice.
It's been a while since
around the NBA. We haven't done that. Got to go
NBA.
Around the NBA because we're 20 plus games in now. It's been a while since we've gone around the NBA. Friday, game 1 of the rescheduled schedule for the Sixers as they take on the Indiana Pacers, and that will be a home game. They're not on the road for that one. So we'll see the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton and company back here in Philadelphia on Thursday night. I believe that's a 7:30. I'll look it up while I talk, since Kyle asked if I like to talk. I'll look it up, multitask, look up the schedule, and see exactly what time it is. But that's our schedule this week. They then are off the weekend, and they play Monday, game 2 of the rescheduled schedule because of the NBA Cup losers bracket. It's a 7 o'clock game at home on Friday. Derek and Kyle will be there, and Bree, myself, and Rich will be here at the studio for pre and post, and we'll have you covered there. And then when they play the Hornets, folks, on Monday in Charlotte, they're off for 3 days again. So a good break. And while Kyle is right, all of that other stuff will catch up when we're talking about catching up with the back-to-backs and 5 and 7 nights and all that kind of stuff. They have the Hornets on Monday, but then they play the Hornets once again on Friday, and that will be a home game, front end of a back-to-back, before they travel to Cleveland to take on the pretty darn good Cleveland Cavaliers. Then the San Antonio Spurs. It's the week of Christmas on Monday, and that will start off the week of...
Merry Christmas. Here comes Wemby.
Yes, indeed. And the Celtics on Christmas Day, right? So there's that, and then they start their road trip out west against the Jazz, Blazers, Kings, Warriors, and back on the East Coast for the final of the 6-game road trip, which will be the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn on Saturday evening at 6 p.m.
So we have William in the chat who said, this 2-man Maxi Embiid play while everybody waits is hurting my eyes. My brother in Christ, Joel scored 19 points and they took the lead and went on like a 17-2 run. Sometimes
aesthetically pleasing, man.
I would love to play. I'd love to watch the Sixers and it's like the 2014 Spurs where the ball's flying all over the floor and everyone's bombing away from three and it's Danny Green, it's Boris Diaw, it's like all these, but that's not the team they have, right?
Yep.
And right now, when these wins are so precious and they do have a staple play like that to go to, you got to hammer it. You hammer what works until they can stop it. And then you iterate off of that, right? That doesn't mean every pick and roll they run is going to be Joel at the elbow taking a jumper, but he was cooking. You give the hot man the ball. That's just basic basketball stuff to me. I get where you're coming from, but respectfully, they can't pick and choose right now. Run the best stuff.
And by the way, even though some of the others, like Paul George is 4 for 7, so he's fine. Maxi is the only one, which he and McCain are the only ones that haven't really gotten it going offensively. They're getting good shots though. Mm-hmm. So if they're knocking down these shots, it's a much bigger lead. With all due respect to what you're saying, because that works. And by the way, in order for your season to work the way it needs to work, you need these types of games from Joel Embiid to ramp up back to being all-star Joel Embiid. So right now, with this type of game, and then remember, we just talked about it, having 4 days off. So you load up on Joel Embiid today. Minute restrictions, be damned. He's playing well. Give him an opportunity. You blow the team out, he's probably not going to play the last few minutes of the fourth quarter anyway. Mm-hmm. Then you have those 4 days off, and you have a chance again on Friday against Indiana where you get back at it one more time. So it's good because as the game started going, he started making these shots. His lift looks so much better. When we talk about he can't get off the floor, he is engaged in these shots, and he is just lifting off the floor, knocking down. We're not talking about dunking. We're simply talking about those mid-range pocket passes from Tyrese Maxey and those jumpers where he was missing them earlier. He had a fantastic 19-point second quarter. I don't know how that's boring, especially when it's probably going to be a lot of George and Maxey the rest of the way, mixing in Embiid to continue to lead this basketball game.
And even beyond the lift, laterally, I am continue to be pretty impressed with how well he looks like he's moving laterally. I just wish we didn't have to then say, all right, well, let's see how it feels the next day. Because I think for the most part,
at least he's got 4 days in between this time.
But it's just hard to have optimism when, the last time he played 3 games in a row, he then missed what ended up being like 3 weeks after that, 2.5 weeks.
I think like almost exactly 2 weeks.
So I'd love to see him be like, well, I'm going to read into this, and he's moving well here, and that Euro step looked nice, and yada, and it all did. And I think this is where you can see some of the weight loss is more with that lateral movement. I just hope that knee then reacts well tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
All right, and our watch along here today is brought to you by our good friends from Coors Light. Presented by Coors Light. Visit CoorsLight.com/PHLY basketball to get Coors Light delivered or to find a store near you. Sixers are up at the break over the Chicago Bulls, 62-50. Right now, the Birds down 10-7 at home right before halftime. So if you're wanting to choose chill because you're ticked off at the terrible start that the Philadelphia Eagles are having, but also choosing chill because of the good start that the Sixers are on right now at halftime.
Choosing chill, baby.
Got choose chill with the 19 points from Embiid. Got some pizza and some wings. Me and Bree about to get some food as well. And choose chill, courtesy of Coors Light, our watch along presenting sponsor here on the show. Tom Jackson said he just watched Jordan Davis track down Bryce Young. Big boy can move. Yes, he can. It's a big dude, man.
Big boys can move.
Jalen Carter,
team, man.
Big Milton Williams fan right here. He's really good.
Jalen Carter psyching out Lamar Jackson was crazy.
Dude.
That's it. It's one thing some of these other quarterbacks to run down. Lamar Jackson is a freak. So for Jalen Carter, a boy that size, man, you were carrying a lot of weight to be moving that fast. And he has had some moments where he just looks like Warren Sapp type shit.
Yeah, you have veterans or retired, alumni talking about he looks like early Jerome Brown. These are people that played with Jerome Brown, early Jerome Brown. And I heard Vinny talking about it on the Eagles show where he was saying Fletcher Cox a little bit, showing flashes of what Fletcher Cox looked like early on and how you have to defend him. So absolutely, man. Also, you can go and get some of our team merchandise here from our show.
Look at you.
And Bree, because Bree has it up on the screen. So great job by her. Two things. One is our T-shirt, our hoodie. If you want to go out there and be a part and represent our team, you can go to allphly.com, of course, and check out the merch drop down at the very top where you can look for that and search our show. Or you can go to store.allcitynetwork.com to jump in and also get a few pieces there. Bree, also, you know what they could use right now? Because it's cold. It's warmed up a little bit today, but it's been cold as ever outside. The beanies on the website, right? The beanies on the website. Bree said, "Oh, we've got beanies." Yes, we do. I
didn't even know this.
I ordered one, and the one that I wanted is the black one. That's the one that's been there a while, and they were sold out. The black is sold out, so I had to settle for the midnight green of the beanies, as I call them, Scullies. But on the website, they'll be there as a beanie. So if you want to go out there, it's getting chilly out. Got some cold weather games happening for the Birds here soon with the playoffs upcoming, and the beanies are available. You know what, Bree? I actually have one somewhere in our Slack, and it was from the other day. I think it was I'll forward it to you so you don't have to search and
what are we looking for
the beanie on the website. Oh, okay. See, she's the best. I actually had it.
I need to get one of those.
You didn't know? Yeah, you didn't know. Yeah, so you got to get.
I
the
work
beanie.
here and I don't know.
Look at that.
Things.
It's right there on the screen.
Maybe that says more about me than the company, but
look at the colors. You have the midnight green, the gray, black is sold out unless they restock those. You have the gray. There's a red in there as well.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm banned from being any more hats.
I have too many beanies.
I have too many hats in general where I was given a mandate that if I buy another hat, another one has to go that already is at the house. So
even the work hats. I'm just asking. You can also.
You got to remember that when it's not your stuff, it just looks like clutter.
Very true. Very true. I have a whole bin.
I have a hat rack in my closet, and I have a bin for the beanies and like winter stuff. So like scarves, gloves, all that stuff.
Yeah. So there's that. So get the hat, folks. And
I assume you have like an entire closet.
Looking like a turnover, by the way, for the good guys in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I think there might have been an interception that we missed while we were yapping.
They got to get some points on the board before the half.
Oh, yeah. Is that CJ? CJ?
GJ?
Yeah. That was a duck. I don't know if I couldn't tell from the one replay I saw if it got tipped or not. But
his year before he left and, went to Detroit. That year he had like 8 interceptions or something like that.
Yeah.
He was fantastic that season.
Well, I got to tell you, it's been nice watching an Eagles team that has an actual secondary. Because, boy.
Even back going towards the Super Bowl year, the questions were there, and they were real. Remember Ronald Darby thought he was going to be cut at one point, and then you had a few other guys that felt like they just weren't. They have been looking for replacements for years, and even Slay has been really good. He's now starting to slow down.
Second half starting of our Sixers stream, everyone, for anyone who's trying to keep on the same timing as us at home.
So what were you saying about the secondary?
I was going to say, it's not even like a lot of times with the linebackers, they just didn't invest resources. They've invested some resources in the secondary, and they just had some really big misses.
Yeah.
Between they took the gamble on Sidney Jones,
Nnamdi,
Byron Maxwell.
That one I knew was going to fail. That one I knew. I thought Nnamdi
that one
was
I think a lot of people were skeptical.
I thought Nnamdi was going to be great.
By the way, Jared McCain started in the second half.
Yes, indeed.
Over Yabu, though.
Over Yabu.
See, they did.
Kelly's been playing okay, so just let it be what it is. Look at that
You
drop
like that?
off. Look at that drop off.
And
Oh!
still can't make one.
Come on, Tyrese. Not your fault.
Hit every part of the rim.
What do you mean not his fault? You missed an open three.
Well, the bounce.
Listen, man.
Don't
let chat bully you into being like, hey, Tyrese, it's okay if you miss open shots.
No, you're right. Come back and get the basketball. Shoot it again.
It's 2 straight, though, off of DHO.
There you go.
See?
Back to back. Should have been 13.
That's a good job.
Should have been 13, Tyrese.
Make the damn
How dare
shot.
you? Come on.
Well,
You
it
got
seems like
10.
they're clearly trying to get him going.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. That's an assist for Joel then.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Gambling Givens eating good. What's Levine at is the other thing, though.
13.
I didn't see much there. Joel didn't complain, so must not have. That's always the giveaway because these guys complain about a ton. Joel's a little more selective than some of these other guys, but.
Can we also point out, too, when he sets a screen, he sets a really good screen. And he gives guys some open opportunities.
When he decides he wants to.
And they've missed that. They've really missed that.
Yeah, it's why we've been so happy to see Yabu with some of his screens that he's setting because that's been a difference-making thing for him. Devon, you want to take a break and go get yourself some? Derek and I can. Or maybe I can.
I'll go with the commercial
Derek's,
break.
Derek's mouth deep in a wing right now.
I've got one wing left, and I'm ready to talk.
By the way, Darkness was roasting me. He's like, I called it my Golden Corral pile of food. Buddy, I got 1 slice of pizza and 2 wings. If that's what you do when you go to a buffet, I don't think you should go to buffets.
Vintage Joel. Did they call that on the floor? Did they call that on the floor? Oh, he's back, folks.
The grifting and
he
one.
Is back. He is back.
Did a little Karate Kid action after, too. Oh, man.
Oh, they counted it, too.
Danielson after the...
Yo, I watched that recently because I hadn't seen
the
it
original
in a long time. So I watched just that final part of the fight and all that stuff. Sweep the leg and all. They were dirty, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
I knew it then, but they were real dirty, man.
Have you ever... so I have not, but I've heard good things. Have you seen Cobra Kai at all?
I have not.
I see Breed motioning in the background. So maybe... Oh, okay.
Oh, that's what she was motioning.
Joel, another pull-up.
Derek, what's our number at? Because we're clearing this one on Embiid.
You're easy.
We're just waiting on Zach
He is up
Levine
to
now.
33. He needs one more. One more of anything.
Devontae Smith with the touchdown. He did miss A.J. Brown on the cross. It was
Hit
easy
another
too.
one, Tyrese. Oh, my God.
It's all right.
But the amount of space he got on that because of Joel being there.
Look at that steal. He recovered and got the steal on Levine with an open layup, too.
Gotta score that. There you go, PG.
Look how easy that one was right there. Oh, the safety was coming over.
So this is now like a 25-point turnaround, right?
Yeah.
They were down, 7? 39,
They're
32?
down 10 at the end of the first quarter.
It's a lot of hair, man. I'm jealous.
Wait, why did the stream stop?
You know he's gonna take it.
I don't think I've ever seen Bree just like walk away from there.
Gotta go get the food.
Oh my
Gotta get
God,
food.
man!
I agree.
He's back.
He is on fire.
And you've got the over under.
He was what? 0 for 6, 0 for 7, something like
He was
that.
scoreless
0
in the
for
first
6?
quarter.
6.
I just didn't remember if he missed one at the start of the first or not.
He scored
Offensive
26
foul?
points in the last
Look
15
at
minutes
that,
of play.
Paul George. Look at that defense from Paul George.
This does feel like the first legitimate game of the season.
And it's no longer 6 minutes.
Yes.
Of just those 3. You're right.
That's a hell of a play by Paul there, by the way.
Good block.
Turns out, to Kyle's point, when the basket is 10 feet in the air, having long arms and being 6'8", it helps. It helps.
Helps a little bit.
There's value in just prioritizing the simple things, you know? It's probably why somebody like Jerry West was such a good talent evaluator across decades. It's just like, give me the guys who are good at the same things that have always made basketball players good. Job by Kelly there.
Kelly being himself there. The new Kelly.
Bang.
Another
The new
three.
Kelly.
Catch and shoot 3.
The new Kelly. Look at that. 77-60, folks. They are rolling right now. Both
This is
Philadelphia
awesome.
teams leading.
Great to see.
Oh, this is good to see right now from this band. And 4 more days off. I kind of want them to keep playing so they can just keep it going.
I mean, give me some back-to-backs this week.
Right.
Ride the wave, baby. Ride the wave.
Exactly. But they do have some days off to get some rest, look at some film, look at the good stuff on film, and get after it. Sixers up right now by, what is it, 17? 17.
Tyrese is 3 rebounds from a triple-double.
We called it early. We recognized it early. 11 assists, 13 points.
Shouldn't say we. You called it early.
But you know I never do the me stuff. I always do the we stuff.
Yeah.
That's just me. And
well, Derek and I are happy to take our own credit. So we'll give you yours. How about that?
Yeah. So 13 for Maxi, 10 for Paul George, which was really early. He got those first points early, 7 points, I believe it was. He hasn't had to do a lot. So once again, you see how the balance goes. He has 5 boards, 2 assists, 1 block that we just saw that Kyle highlighted. He's 5
for 8. It's the situational, like, hey, we need a bucket.
His 3 misses are about from 3, by the way. So all his stuff is the mid-range and in the paint there. So that's good to see. With the Yabusele not starting, he was 10 minutes, 2 for 2, 1 rebound. But maybe it was just the fact that Embiid got it going and the coaching staff realized, let's get that shooting around him since he had the rhythm going. The double teams are going to show. He's going to get those passes off.
Wait, you said let's get the shooting around him, and they kept Kelly in.
But you have Maxi, George, and McCain.
Sure.
Dude, 1.
No, look, I'm pro getting McCain on the court. Don't.
And you keep coming after Kelly Oubre when he's 1 for 1 from 3 today.
I'm happy with how Kelly Oubre is playing.
This is more of a long-term thing for me.
5 points, 4 boards. I'm just talking about this half to start it off to get the shooting around him. Yeah.
No, and to Kyle's point.
And by the way, he's healthy where Paul George is not for that defensive wing.
Kelly's playing well, for sure. My McCain Yabu duo and starting lineup is more a long-term projection for me. But given what's happened tonight, he's played a good game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 0 for 6. Since then, he is 11 for 16, Joel.
It's pretty darn good. A lot of those jump shots, too. Yeah, a lot of jump shots.
Basically the same. I mean, he had the deep post touches. And then after that, I think almost every shot, if not every shot, has been a jumper in some form.
And whatever you call that karate kick, floater, runner.
And the move from the elbow where he got it there, but then the quick dribble move, one dribble to the basket. Yeah. So everything after those deep touches has come from same area of the floor for the most part.
I'm going to go get some food.
Uh-oh.
You want me to take your plates? You good?
You can leave it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because you're going to use it later.
What do you want to use? The sauce that's here?
It's here.
Because there's no sauce on the wings, which always an interesting choice, but man, we're living in dream world right now, Derek.
It really does. Like, we had this vision because Paul pretty much signed.
Because we personally put this team together.
Well, we spent an hour or 2 talking about it, where, Paul signed real early in July, and we spent so much time talking about what we thought it would look like on the court, and we were denied it for so long. And months into the season, 21 games in, and they had played 6 minutes. And is every game going to be like this? No. Chicago's real bad defensively. They played poorly offensively, which is giving the Sixers a chance to get out. Shots are going in. But you can see how the skills play off of each other. And just
Griff ball is back, baby.
Embiid getting Maxi all that space. And Paul being selective and being able to take his tough shot making along with his passing. And it's just all finally starting to look like it makes sense.
And to your point, Chicago, not a defensive juggernaut. But I think what you've seen as Joel has gotten it going, Chicago just looks so stretched out. Like they have not been able to, like, Maxi is in that position there, and they just have no recourse to try to help at the rim when he beats that first level of defense. So I think having all this shooting, but also having guys that command attention, it's like a multiplicative effect, right? Having them all out there together. The Bulls are looking at these guys like, what the hell do we do with all of them?
Yeah. There's always going to be somebody who has an advantage when these 3 are on the court.
Get rid of it. That's one of the few I didn't like. That was
no, but it looked like the play mostly broke down.
Maxi wants that triple double badly. Joel had that, and he just said, nope. Ooh, goodbye. That stinks. He missed it. Another nice offensive rebound by Kelly. So the thing that I would really like to see if they put Yabu in Kelly's place, tough shooting game for Jared, is just you will have a bunch of, or at least your two role players in Jared and Yabu. You'd have quick decision makers on the floor and theoretically
pretty
guys that can
reliable
shoot.
decision makers too. Yeah.
So in those possessions where somebody gets doubled or the ball's swinging, that ball's really going to move.
No, and look, I think Kelly is a better perimeter defender than Yabu, even though Yabu's like a good defender who has he does a lot of the little things defensively. Certainly will give you the effort and hustle and toughness defensively, but Kelly moves his feet better on the perimeter. So theoretically, I prefer that aspect of Kelly's game. But it is the shooting. It is the decision-making. If I was building out my ultimate starting lineup, it would be McCain and Yabu. But quite frankly, just the fact that we are
Devon just missed a lob.
He did miss a lob. Just the fact that we are having this conversation is a good conversation to have because it means Jared and Yabu have shown way more than anyone was expecting. And by anyone, I mean not only us sitting here, but also people in the NBA who drafted 15 players ahead of Jared McCain and didn't offer Yabu anything more than a minimum salary.
I think that would also count the Sixers as an organization as well, because they get credit for picking and signing those two. But if they thought Jared McCain was going to be this good, they would not have sat at 16 and waited for him to fall. So, whew. Good times right now, man. I can't believe Devon missed the Maxi lob to Oubre. Criminal. His brand is falling apart as we speak.
Well, it was right over his boy, too. Right over Giddey.
I don't know if I'd call him his boy. I feel like that's gone a little too far. These, have you seen those? I'm not going to get into what it constitutes in Josh Giddey's case. Have you seen the Family Guy TikTok edits that have been going around?
Yes.
They have been so funny. And there's at least one or two Giddey ones that are about as funny as it gets that we cannot repeat what are said on them in this format. All right, so Yabu at the 5 with KJ, Jared, and Kelly. That's 3 offensive rebounds in this quarter alone for Kelly. Big time play there.
We don't officially know what Embiid's minute limit is, but they might be playing them to the point where the fourth quarter might not matter all that much.
Yeah, if they can,
so it'll be good to limit.
Even pad the lead a little bit here.
Even with 4 days off, it would be great not to overexert him.
So, Devon, you missed a lob from Maxi to Oubre for a dunk. How dare you?
How dare Tyrese not wait for me to get back? Nice setup.
So, by the way, one interesting development with moving Yabu to the bench is that Drummond is not playing.
Okay.
And that's something to monitor moving forward as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's because of play or because of the ankle.
It could be both of them or a combination of both. What the heck?
Because this is this isn't a big lineup for Chicago right now, but obviously when Vooch is in there, it's a big guy you have to match up with.
Yeah.
Maxi 1 rebound shy of that triple-double.
Oh, and he's been fighting for him,
you missed another.
too.
He stole one from Joe, or tried to steal one from Joel, but I think he tipped it to somebody instead.
That's what you get for trying to steal it. He'll get one more, though. He's well aware.
I'm sure he is.
He's well
aware. Is that your Golden Corral platter?
I was going to say that. It'll come back.
The same order. It's a slice of pizza and 2 wings,
and
it
some
looks
wings,
like.
Yes. And I just poured on the buffalo sauce, like you said, because it's a choice. It's an interesting choice.
It's a choice.
And I think Wawa said Devon's got the snack bar behind him. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes,
he
I do.
always does.
We're ready. We're prepared.
Devon's good like that.
We're prepared.
The other day, he bought Kyle and I our own bag of.
I still have some of my rips.
Yeah, rips.
Devon might be the #1 rips connoisseur in all of, certainly in Philadelphia.
Yes, my daughter's a close second. because they'll be in the house, and I'll be like, "Yo, what happened to
where the rips?"
I know where they went. She took them. Gone. Yeah, close second. Gone. All right.
So yeah, now this Drummond, the backup big thing is interesting, and we've
so what
talked
point
about
did Joel come out? Did he come out at the same time, 6 minute mark,
roughly,
7 minute mark?
Yeah, somewhere in there
as the first quarter. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if they extend this lead, we won't have to see him anymore until next Friday.
I kind of want to get him some cardio minutes at the very least, but yeah, you don't want him playing high impact minutes in this game that should hopefully be wrapped up by the time the fourth quarter starts.
Jared McCain 3 for 6. Also, I'm sorry, I cut off your big.
Yeah, he had another big 3 there off of Kelly offensive rebound.
Okay, Kelly Oubre trying to
Doesn't
stay.
Feel like he's shooting that well, and yet he is.
I know.
So I actually think I just said to Derek, I was like, he's not shooting that well today. And then,
isn't he like 3 for 6 from 3 or something?
3 for 6 from 3.
Yeah.
Hey, is he 3 for 6? I think we've always said that 4 times in like 15 seconds.
Oh man!
But I'm the one who said he wasn't shooting well to start with, so here he goes.
There he goes.
Whew. It's just nice for real basketball to be on TV instead of whatever the heck we've been watching.
You are not kidding. You are not
kidding. It's been rough. And look, all things considered, we still have a great job, and it's still fun doing this.
And but
it's a lot more fun when there's good basketball being played.
And there's a lot of it left too, right? A lot of it left. 5 and what are they? 6 and 15 right now. 1 games in.
For a second, I thought that was when he turned to the side. No, he looked like Andrew, one of our producers.
Yeah, he does look like Andrew.
When he looked to the side, his side profile looked like him.
He did.
Also had a little bit of Jackson Frank in there too.
Yeah, similar vibe. How do you end up with a Bulls fan though? What happened there? Made some poor choices.
I mean, they've been irrelevant for long enough that they're not like a huge rival anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I say that about a team that's 6 and 15 that I cover.
One other thing to monitor here: Maxi and McCain have been in this whole time. Are we going to get Kyle Lowry solo ball handler minutes again?
That's really so. I have a preference of McCain and Yabu as a starter, but Kelly should be playing 30 minutes. I don't have a real issue with him being on the floor. It's just that it's more of like a skill set fit thing that I'm questioning. Kyle should not be on the floor.
I agree. I should not be on the floor.
I'm at the point where you might have as much of an impact, and it's just
okay. I certainly will not go that far.
That's clear exaggeration. But him getting if he continues to get another 15 to 20 minutes per game consistently, I will start getting really frustrated.
They are getting a lot of good looks today. I thought that was a goaltend, honestly.
So did I. I'm surprised.
But Giddey didn't complain. So again, I always go off a nice move. Maxi in this quarter starting to look a little more like himself. And that's another great sign among many today.
He has that bounce again. Yep.
He's been frustrated for very long.
Definitely playing the rebound here.
He wants it.
He definitely wants that. Yes, he does.
Well, if you put him on Giddey and Giddey's on the perimeter, you could definitely get in position to rebound. You know that. I want to see the other side on that because I still kind of think that was a goaltend.
The rookie
Man,
had
he
no shot.
Shook him, and he's been good defensively this year in the bit I've watched at Chicago. So that is not that's not just a bozo you're hunting out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice move.
With Joel smiling in the background with
Eric Gordon with the biggest stank face you've ever seen for a guy whose team is up by 17. I get it. I know I'm sure he's frustrated with not playing, but also we've all seen you play this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have also been frustrated with how his play has gone. So
yeah, so here we go. It's Lowry. Yep, Lowry solo backcourt guy.
It's this Paul George offense.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Take the young fella.
It's going to be a pull-up jumper. Oh.
Ooh.
He's had a tough week or so. He had one good shooting game this week, but
Kelly just got smacked in the face.
Looked like it.
Yep.
Oh, is it that bad? Yeah. Kylie's pretty tough too, so for him to react like that, he must have gotten popped pretty good. Let's see.
On the box out?
Ran into
Oh, he just ran right into
Lonzo.
I was expecting like a rogue elbow or like, it doesn't mean it hurts any less. It's just
not
funny
what you're
watching him run right into Lonzo's back.
But the funny part too is Lonzo didn't even react to the back of his head grabbing his own back of his head or his shoulder or anything. Kelly just ran
Glad he's
into
all
him.
right. That was just very funny to look at.
Marvel says, dude with the goggles, I wanted to be our backup center. That's Jalen Smith from the Chicago Bulls. Used to be with the Suns and the Pacers. That was the tough draft, man. He was picked number 10. That's why we were still in Phoenix. And Tyrese Halliburton had slipped. And most people were like, are they going to take Halliburton here? Backup Paul George?
Would have been a
Chris
good
Paul?
pick.
Oh, man, you're not kidding. But there's that.
Halliburton Booker. That would have been something.
Yeah, it would have. And when Chris Paul went down, of course, campaign there also had a good run. But Halliburton Booker would have been nice.
Now, whether they would have kept him long term,
I
who
don't know.
knows?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
looks like the Eagles' second half has just gotten underway.
Fran was talking about there seemed to be some miscommunication with Jalen and AJ on a couple of those slants there early.
Okay. So no 12 touchdown game as predicted by
12.
Malk in the
Unless it's a 12 touchdown half.
Never know. It is Carolina. Somebody's got to be open.
KJ was.
Yeah, I think you got to give the ball up there.
Yeah, KJ was. Eagles get the ball to start, by the way.
Oh boy, Saquon.
So he's definitely going to win the Offensive Player of the Year, right?
I would imagine so. You almost don't want him to because that probably says that they gave it to him because they're not going to give him MVP. That's kind of how those awards tend to go.
Yeah. That's Josh Allen's award, though, I think, at this point.
But I feel like it's been a different guy every week. Like it was Lamar's award. Oh, now it's Josh Allen, and now it's I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if the Eagles run the table, which that's a big ask, but it's not impossible. And Saquon potentially breaks the rushing record, which is not out of the question.
Right.
That's a pretty compelling case. Ooh, okay, Lowry. Oh my God. It's like a car crash in there.
It's a big car too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an SUV coming through the lane.
It's not a minivan?
No, that might be a Hummer, honestly. Do you remember the last time you saw a Hummer on the road? They were pretty common for a while.
Yeah.
And then everyone decided, hey, I actually don't need an army vehicle to drive to the supermarket.
Except for now they have those
10 miles a gallon.
the new army vehicles, the trash cans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
They are even more unnecessary on the road.
At least the Hummers kind of looked cool.
Yeah. These don't look cool. I mean, we said it when we first started to see them anyway. They look like those trash cans.
They do look like trash cans.
Yeah.
Trash cans from space.
The aluminum trash cans with the swinging top of the door, the thing there. Or a bug from Men in Black, whatever you want to call it. It looks like
like some Starship Troopers nonsense, honestly.
Nonsense. That's great. Nonsense.
But yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I wonder when the last Hummer was that I personally saw on the road, where you went from like not that they're everywhere. It wasn't a super common car, but it was common enough. And then they just disappeared from Earth entirely.
One, celebrities had them, so you would see them a lot on television, videos, and things of that nature. And then you're right. You would start to see them around the area a ton. And they started to Make them look different. Just, make them look
The
differently.
H2.
Yeah, right.
The original one looked truly like a military vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
The H2 was more like, oh, this is like the sleek.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find pictures of them. Let's say sleek. It was still like a absolutely ridiculous amount of truck. So who challenged here? The Sixers or the Bulls?
The Bulls, I think. By the way, Jake Elliott missed a field goal. We starting to worry a little bit
about Jake. Yeah, it's really weird. And like
him and Justin Tucker, both of them starting to miss.
Kicking is just so much in your head. It's a lot to me.
Seen him with Justin Tucker, yeah, it's the same thing.
It's mind-boggling because he's so reliable, but yeah, it can turn quickly.
Successful challenge by the Bulls.
Wow, the Sixers on the wrong end of a challenge? No way. Okay, so that's is like this is the first one.
That's right, with the flatbed almost on the
yeah,
on the tail.
And then this is the H2.
Yeah.
The school, and there were a lot of the yellow ones.
Yeah,
a lot of the school bus Hummers. But
The
these
taxi
ones,
Hummers.
I like the look is cool, right? I think anyway. I wouldn't
I don't
own
mind
one.
the H2, neither one. But I like the H2 of them because, of course, it looks a little more modern.
Yeah,
but
I don't know how we got on Hummers.
Yeah,
I mean, you brought it up.
I did. I don't know how my brain got
Yabu was
there.
a Hummer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the car crash. Where George is the minivan, of course.
Well, the other George, not Paul George. George Niang.
Niang, sorry.
First name George.
Yeah. Friend of the show, George.
Yeah, that random appearance he had on the show, the one game, was so funny. You say that the Sixers were cheating, I think, when he came on?
Oh, yeah, when they lost.
He's so funny. I look, and his defense in the playoffs would.
Do I need to say anything about
nuts.
that Kyle Lowry shot? I mean, he got given the ball.
got
A
the
horrible
ball.
situation
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
No,
Yikes.
I don't blame him for that. I don't blame him for anything, quite frankly. I blame Nick Nurse for playing him.
Yeah.
That's really where my scoring comes from. But no, George is.
oh, come on, man.
Did he get that off in time?
He did.
They did.
They counted it.
Letting them hang around.
9-point game. Now Joel is definitely coming back in, by
Both
the way.
he and Maxi. Yep.
Well,
So they closed the second quarter well. Third quarter, not so much. Now, look, you get a shot like that, but still, it's a 9-point game.
Kyle Lowry now in the negative, plus minus. As we all know, the most important stat. I'm kidding for anyone else but he also is not doing anything. So,
Wawa said, goggles. I wanted him.
Technically, he said Google's because he typoed
but
it.
I can clean it up. You're right.
well, okay. So this is frankly going to be a good test for Joel, where hasn't played in a while. What are his lungs like? What are his legs like in the fourth quarter? I assume it'll be him and Maxi, right? Like Maxi got 2 minutes off end of the quarter. I would assume Nick is just going right back to him here. And him and Joel, and you try to push this lead to, 15, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And try to win it here in this next 6 minutes. That's asking a lot, though.
Mm-hmm.
At least, here's the good news. Maxi got going in that quarter. So this doesn't necessarily have to be, you're still going to run the elbow jumper, pick and roll. That's going to be the staple play here. But it doesn't have to be deliberately for Joel, right? Like they're going to have to track that. But Maxi has now gotten going. And so his floor reads during this stretch are going to be ultra, ultra important.
What about McCain? Because he did not close the quarter. He was off the floor.
But he played for quite a bit of that.
Bring him back now? Or more just bring Oubre back with those guys?
I would assume Oubre here.
And keep Yabusele out there.
Maybe. Yabu has not played especially well in this game. And I do think you're seeing some of some of the concerns I would have for him as they play him more, use him more as a forward, and like it's not necessarily about him as it is the lineup combinations. It's the same problem you run into, or a similar problem as what you run into with Drummond, where he can play well, but sometimes you're putting, I don't know, Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin, like multiple guys on the floor with him who can't shoot, and then problems get compounded. So Yabu in there with like Lowry and another small guard, it's going to be very tough for you to consistently get stops.
Embiid there, Lowry out there with Tyrese.
And Maxi. Yeah,
Paul George, Caleb Martin.
The Lowry thing is really killing me, man. I don't like that shot to start.
Nah.
All right, well, live by the Lowry, die by the Lowry, I guess. Not much living happening, unfortunately. Kobe White said, "Mouse in the house" to Tyrese. 7-point game, man. I was going to say, do not take that shot, Joel. Griff ball, baby. This is like the exact sort of guy that he just destroys, by the way. Jalen Smith. Guy just is giving up so much size, and he just drives into him over and over again and shoots over again.
As the chat has now started calling him Google Man.
Google Man. Yikes.
It's going to be that kind of quarter, huh?
Can't play with your food, man.
Can't play with your food. I'm not a...
Cannot play with if you're Doc Rivers.
I wasn't. I mean, I know that had a direct application to you. It was not meant for you.
Or as Doc Rivers would say, don't play with your meat.
You know what they should do?
The best.
Every time in the second half, the opponent's shooting free throws, Benny the Bull should be there throwing popcorn in the air. That'd be really distracting.
Well, I think we were up in New York in the playoffs when he came the next day and he's like, look, my players pulled me aside. They told me that the phrase was don't play with your food. I just want to clarify that. I meant don't play with your food.
That was one of the funniest Doc Rivers moments by far because it was complete deadpan. It was after, I believe it was game 3 or 4 in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Don't play with your meat. Oh, my God, Doc.
Wild take. Wild take there about Max.
He's had a couple already to start this quarter. Run good offense. Oh, yeah, good. Let's have Kyle Lowry commit an offensive foul.
Gotta take him out.
Nick Nurse jail for this lineup. I don't know what he's complaining about. I mean, he like lifted him off the floor. He's like, excuse me. Bro, like, he looks like a left tackle. Like, what are you complaining about, dude? I just...
Did he sub him out? He did.
He did.
Back.
Oh, wow.
Nice
amazing. The guy who...
Give the ball up.
Joel,
The guy who can
that's a terrible... Oh, he got lucky, man. We weren't going to get to the game without at least one.
No, but on the scale of Joel Embiid injury scares, like an elbow is... It's not a lower body injury.
Before we knew it was an elbow, though. Give the ball up and he starts sliding. Nah.
Really nice play like Kelly.
This stuff is not that hard. Like, he came in and immediately made a play. Oh, yeah. That probably... I bet you that was like a funny bone type of thing. Somebody got to move. And look, like, so much of it shouldn't turn into a referendum on Lowry, but you can't just give away minutes and play bad players, and then like it starts to snowball. Momentum is a thing that affects these guys.
What is?
All of a sudden, it's a 5-point game, and everyone's clenched up.
Yep. 2 bad possessions right there from Tyrese Maxey.
He's had a bad start to this quarter, period. Great play by Joel. Maybe they need to bench Maxi,
He
too.
left the basketball out there, man. Another 3 from Jalen.
Yeah, I put most of these struggles here on Tyrese. He has not been good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this, too. You're just bleeding the clock for what? Run offense. So now you have 5 seconds, and somebody's got to make something happen. This is shitty offense.
You need a timeout.
He'll get one after this made basket by Chicago.
Right through him. Needed that one, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I'd almost try to run some Paul and Joel stuff here.
Yep.
Because I don't like what I'm seeing from Tyrese to open this quarter.
He stole that from Tyrese Maxey.
He doesn't deserve the triple-double at this point, the way he's playing.
Yeah. Old Joel would have taken that shot, like the first quarter Joel.
That's a tough miss. That's a good possession. They have been fortunate on a few of these misses. Nick finally called a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Same lineup out of the timeout, or what switch? I think
Bring
Caleb
Jared
out.
back.
Caleb out, McCain in.
Yep.
Again, question becomes, so Joel started the quarter. How many minutes can he give you? And this is not a game that you can just say, oh, he's going to play until the 3-minute mark or 4-minute mark, and they're going to win. It's very much up for grabs right now. I will say,
Do you take him out and give him like 3 or 4 minutes of rest?
like right now,
Yeah.
that might be the move, especially because he hasn't been getting many touches. It's not like it's harder to pull him out at this point if he's cooking. I think I probably lean toward giving him a couple minutes here and then hope you either maintain or pad the lead a little bit and then bring him back for the final close. How many minutes has Lowry? It feels like Lowry has played so many more minutes than he has.
11. He played 8 in the first half. So that's 3 minutes in
He's over his last 9 appearances where he's scoring 2 points per game and shooting 18% from the field. He's averaging 22.2 minutes per game. That's absurd. And again, that's not even hate on Kyle Lowry. That's Nick Nurse's rotations that I'm really upset with.
Yeah.
He's just not physically capable of being an effective NBA point guard at this stage.
So here's the question. The Yabusele minutes at the 5 went pretty poorly in the third quarter. Do you go back to it here, or do you try Drummond? Now, if you have to get Joel,
I honestly thought Drummond was playing okay.
I think so.
That's why I wonder, like, is there something with the ankle? Is there something? I hope not, because clearly you don't want anyone to have a lingering or recurring injury. But I was a little surprised they went small ball.
Is Jalen Smith the 5, or is it Vucevic? Because Jalen Smith has been out there. You would think the closing lineup would be Vucevic, but Smith has been playing well.
I would imagine after this timeout, you probably get Vucevic.
All right. Well, then I wouldn't mind having Drummond back in the game.
Yeah.
Then again, like Chicago has, I think, 1 offensive rebound. 1 offensive rebound all night. So they've done a good job on the glass regardless.
Well, we haven't seen Drummond since the first half.
No. Yeah.
So what is up with that?
Get some answers to that one later. Yeah, Kyle Lowry has played more minutes than Drummond.
So is his ankle bothering him? Did it flare
I
up?
haven't.
Not
Granted,
that,
we're
of
not
course, we
there.
don't know,
I
but
haven't seen or heard anything. We'll see.
According to Sixers Adam on Twitter, Embiid is remaining in the game out of this timeout.
There you go.
Well, it's closing this game. There's the lob. There you go.
Devon Givens moment of the night.
There you go.
Or the afternoon. They make any changes. KJ McCain.
Yep. That's good. That looked much better. No George.
It's good defense by Tyrese. I would imagine they want to get, if they're going to keep Joel out here now, they're resting Paul so that the second that Joel is off the floor, you get fresh PG coming in. I do think the rotation / the lineups are a little too chaotic for me, and I've said that all year. Big shot by Io there.
I know.
There's got to be some stability. I know it's very hard when the stars are not playing. But they have generally figured out who should and should not play at this point. Or I would say we believe we know who should and shouldn't play. It's a little too much tinkering for me.
Good pass.
I would have honestly rather seen Tyrese shoot that, but Kelly making that says, great pass, Tyrese.
Assist number 13 for Tyrese Maxi. 14 for Tyrese Maxi.
That's a foul on the Bulls, yeah?
Yep.
Great job by Kelly. Again.
Oh, wait.
Hits a 3 on one end, defensive play on the other end.
My box score might have been a play ahead of us.
Okay.
God.
It's my box score. I was looking up his assist total.
Even when you're not watching a separate stream, you're somehow moving ahead of us.
So I'm guessing a Tyrese Maxi assist on this play.
To Joel.
Great move.
So you were right. He had 13 at the time.
Yeah, okay.
Corrected him when he was correct.
That was the play.
Tough luck.
That was the play against similar to the Jokic play in the Olympics.
Yes.
Catch and go. Ready to move.
And I'm really happy we've seen a couple of those, right? Where it's just catch the ball right down the lane. And you got to have the opening, of course, but
well, and those are the kind of plays he was not even attempting early in his
Yes.
4 appearances earlier in the season.
So those are that I feel like that is a great sign for where he's at physically as I watch the Hubbard touchdown happen on my delayed stream.
Yeah.
That is a career high in assists for Tyrese Maxey, by the way.
Is it really?
Okay. Also, Joel, wrong leg finish.
Look at that.
As he went to the basket. I don't know if it was because he didn't want to jump off the injured knee or he just did it that way, but something that was noticeable.
His career high before was only 11.
Wow.
He's been in career high territory for a while.
Well, they missed the extra point at least, so there's that.
So they would be up 17-16 if Jake Elliott didn't miss that field goal.
You guys got to forgive anyone who's somehow here and Sixers but not Eagles fan, and I know Jess is one of those, but I don't know if I've seen her today. Apologies that we're keeping tabs on the other team, but no apologies actually.
No. No.
It's a commercial break.
Yeah.
Got to do something.
Plus, they just showed a replay of a tip pass by the Eagles on Bryce Young that landed in the hands of Adam Thielen that apparently helped save that drive. Otherwise, it would have been an interception.
I feel like I need to figure out a way to ask Nick Nurse about this Lowry thing without being an a-hole about it. Because that's one of the disconnects from like fans to us is, and this is not criticism. There are people who would be like, why don't you ask Nick Nurse why is Kyle Lowry playing? And then the coach then gets into defense mode, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
well, because he brings this, and it's like, it's one of those you're never going to get a real answer because he's struggling mightily. And I can guarantee you Nick Nurse sees that. He can read a stat sheet at the very least and see when he's shooting. But I have to find a delicate way to be like, hey, buddy, what's going on here?
And just on cue, Saquon Barkley, second half.
Oh, he's going to rip off like 120 yards in the half and everything will be fine.
The second half.
They're actually running a graphic on the broadcast of
It's
Saquon.
amazing how when LaShawn McCoy used to do that in the second half, you just 5 here, 4 here, 3 here, maybe a 9. And then boom, he 25, 17. Then he rips off a 40-yarder.
Yeah.
All right. Lock in, boys. Joel's still moving well, by the way.
Yeah. You know he wants to take that knee brace off. That's his shot.
Gonna have to scram that. They gotta scram that. You can't have Joel out on and Oubre on Vucevic. Unless Levine is just gonna stand 30 feet from the basket, I guess.
He's not making happens. Shots. Yeah, well, then he makes a shot.
But somebody's gotta recognize that. I don't care if it's Maxi, I don't care who it is. You gotta scram switch that. Because that was not that specific shot, but a bad possession was inevitable there.
That's a good
Big
action
shot from
right
Jared.
there. Good action.
And that's the shot I want to see Tyrese take more.
Absolutely. Another steal from Kelly Oubre.
He has had an excellent second half. Just a lot of big plays on both ends of the floor. Give the ball up. There you go.
Knockdown.
There you go, Joel. See, he didn't get that rebound, but he created that. Love seeing that. Huge play by Joel.
Yep.
Big bucket from Tyrese. And I think generally, I don't want to jinx it because this tends to be the part of the game where Joel's rebounding effort dips. But I think he generally has done a good job as part of the collective effort on the glass here.
Yeah. Well, don't you worry. Tyrese Maxey's hunting for 1 rebound. He's going to attack every shot.
He's been stuck on 9 for a while.
Yes,
now.
he has. Since
I think
the
ever since you went to get food.
You left the room and the mojo went with you.
I know.
You saw those unsauced wings and said, what the hell happened here?
The Golden Corral wings. Not a sponsor, but should be. Come on in, Golden Corral, since we talked about
I actually don't know
much.
if I've ever been to
I've never been.
Golden Corral.
I heard it's all right, though. But I've never been.
I cannot speak to that.
I've never been.
So who would you close with?
Kelly,
Yeah.
Tyrese, Joel. George is on the bench right now.
He'll come back.
But I would
though.
bring him in, and I would keep McCain out
Yeah.
there. And
That's my 5 too.
KJ, I was thinking KJ, but McCain has had a bigger impact and Ken with the shooting.
And if I was going KJ, to me, KJ would be the option if Kelly was struggling, but Kelly's had a very good game, so you keep him in.
Yeah, so that's the 5. 2 guards, McCain and
You
Maxi.
hit your.
Oh, he's
we're just
over
waiting
Joel.
on
No, Levine went. He's 25.
Oh, he's 20. I thought he had 19.
No,
he's been.
you're good.
He's been making shots.
Gambling Givens, where's the cowboy hat? Yeehaw!
Yes, there we go.
We have to get you a cowboy hat now.
Well, see,
You've got to mirror the image Chris produced.
you're right. I'm not opposed
Get a
to it.
communal cowboy hat.
If we can get an image of Devon actually wearing a cowboy hat, that will make my PHLY career.
Would it be better? So should we make him wear it when he wins or when he loses? That's the.
I'm going to be winning a lot, so just say losing.
All right, so that's the lineup. That
Left it out.
cannot have that happen.
Yeah.
Horrible turnover. And those are the ones when we talk about Joel in the playoffs, that is the type of turnover that that's unacceptable. It's one thing, hard fought possession, whatever, late in the clock, making things happen, but that's just a lazy leaving the ball hanging out there, a turnover.
Good defense all around. Can't give up that offensive rebound. Everybody's got to crash.
It's
not going to let him get that
10.
rebound.
He's not going to get that rebound. But what we wanted to see is Joel getting that rebound, and he got it.
So the Bulls have tried to switch how they're playing this. So they're flipping it to have Tyrese go left.
Mm-hmm.
That extra help is not coming. They're trying to get him on the other side, even though Joel prefers the right-hand pocket or right side pocket pass to the left elbow.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like they're reacting to how the Bulls have covered it.
Back him down.
Got it. What is going on oh, that's a commercial. I was like, why is there a big Xfinity thing on my phone?
Nice closeout. Levine's been hot.
Listen, he doesn't want to get to the rim. So, yeah, good defense there, Tyrese.
Kelly two-handed rebound, too.
Zach LaVine, generally, as much as he is an incredible athlete, he does not want to go to the rim. He wants to shoot jumpers. So that's how you got to play him. That's a good understanding of the scouting report by Maxi there.
Ayo's a good defender, man.
He is. He might be giving up some size, but that is yeah. Live by the ISO, die by the ISO.
Oh.
I forgot
Derek's not we're in crunch time.
There's a Jordan replay.
I forgot. I'm not going to say I forgot, but I forgot.
Ay.
Eagles need a score here badly.
Yeah, they do.
Not 3 points either. That was a foul.
Yeah. I'm okay with that foul, though. That's
not in the bonus yet.
Nope. Sixers haven't committed a lot of fouls, have they? 15.
Not bad.
No.
Not bad. This game is moving pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, 1 o'clock start. It's 3:13.
And normally it's over, but we had that two challenges, right? Two. One on the Sixers.
Another Joel rebound.
And of course, despite the fact that we are talking for 3 hours straight now, we will have a post-game show to talk about this one, whichever way it goes.
While we also watch the Eagles game.
Yep.
We would never do that.
Yeah. And we have a WTF moment if you weren't with us early and didn't see the game early.
The drum and the spinner?
Yes, sir.
So, again, that's Tyrese recognizing he's rejecting the screen because of how they're trying to overplay the pocket. That's a great response to how they're playing this action.
Yep. I apologize to anybody with my gambling chops if you made a halftime bet of Tyrese Maxey triple-double. You're not going to get it.
Listen. Outside chance. Not even an outside chance. You got a chance.
It's a really good shot, but he's not even sniffing the defensive boards. Bucket. Timeout.
Oh.
Kelly in there battering. Where was Tyrese to give that offensive rebound? I don't know. That's your rebound.
That's
nice recovery.
Great recovery and rotations there.
Oh, he got it. He got it.
I told him what I said. He's got a chance.
That's
an awesome defensive possession there where they were a little bit in scramble mode. That's a lot of good recoveries.
He got it.
Jared's got to come to the ball.
Yes, he does. He's just standing there in the corner. Good outlet, but...
And not like sprint at him, just a couple steps closer.
Yourself. Yeah, show yourself a little bit more. He probably saw you, but didn't want to make that pass. Show yourself.
How many triple-doubles does Tyrese have in his career?
I want to say he has one.
He's only got maybe 7 or 8 games of double-digit assists, so there's not going to be that many opportunities.
I would say one. And give them credit, too, because the assists were going to happen if they ran the play that they kept leading, kept going to it like they always do. But it was the rebounds, man. It was really the rebounds. Calcaterra, that's so good, too. I like Calcaterra. It was the rebounds, man, because Jalen wouldn't trust him and throw him the ball when he was open when Goddard was out. Now he seems like he'll trust him and throw him the ball. It was the rebounds because Embiid wasn't getting off the floor, wasn't moving the way he was in that first quarter. And Maxi was really good at getting those rebounds early on. So for him to get these 10 rebounds and certainly to have these amount of assists with 12, which is a game high, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. What did he have in the first quarter? 14 assists. He had in the first quarter, he had 2 boards in the first quarter, 4 in the second, 6 assists, and then in the third, he picked up 2 more rebounds and closed it out here with this one. So nice work by Maxi.
And double. I'm going to look into that, see if that is the first T-dub of his career.
I feel like he's got one.
That's why I said one, I think.
What happened there? That's a complete breakdown.
Yeah.
And this is not.
Pad the stats, Tyrese. Get some free throws. There you go. Pad the stats. Let me see.
Let's see. Sort by assists. So double-digit assists in 10 games. No, that's first triple-double of his career.
Is it really?
He had 9 rebounds in one of those other ones.
I would think that would be a stat that's in the game notes, but it's not. It's not anywhere near it. I don't see it.
It really is a crime that they won't play till Friday now.
Well, now they need a break to see what the heck was going on here to close things out. But yes, I want to see more of this sooner rather than later.
Oh.
Good win.
Great
Good win. That's 2 in a row. Not yet a winning streak. 2 in a row. But it's win number 7, man.
I'm telling you, I'm counting these as streaks this year. You guys don't have to, but I will.
That's 7, man. 7 wins.
Slowly.
I'll wait till they get the double digits to start looking at the standings again. I'll wait.
I won't mention them, but I will be looking at them.
Well, that's fair. I won't mention them, but I will take a peek every now and then. Yeah, I don't see any triple.
Now, so here's one of the positives for them is some of the teams in front of them have played a game or 2 more. Or it might be like the Raptors, for example, have played 24 games already. So they're 2 games ahead of Toronto. Now, Toronto's not a team you really care about loss column purposes, but they're 2 games behind the Sixers in the loss column. They've just played more games. Looks like it went final as we wait for our stream. So our internet here today.
We're sitting here at a commercial break, and Tim Bontemps tweeting out the final score.
Yeah. So
there's my ESPN. But Maxi's got his triple-double. There you go. Not going to say if I made a wager on that myself.
Also, if Embiid played 33 minutes, what kind of restriction was he under? A 40-minute restriction? That's not really a restriction.
I know. I guess the game changed it. Remember we talked about when
they did call a bunch of timeouts during that quarter, so it was a lot of like 2 minutes stop, 2 minutes stop. I'm sure that helped a lot. But that is a big win, and more importantly, Joel Embiid looked like Joel Embiid for a lot of that game. And then on top of that, and we're going to get into all this in the post-game show. Hope a lot of you guys and even more people join us there. Maxi, great second half, and showed you the same stuff we've seen when he's been the number 2 to Joel Embiid, that those 2 work in tandem with one another. So excellent game.
Great fourth quarter. Third quarter was
outside of the little stretch there of about 3 minutes for Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
He was fantastic there to close things out. Embiid with 31. I wouldn't have guessed he would have gotten 31 points today.
When you start 0 for 6 and have a scoreless first
but even
quarter.
before the 0 for 6, I'm thinking minute restriction, real minute restriction, not 33, maybe 20. What did we say pregame? 20 before Kyle got here, about 20, 25, somewhere around there. And we had no idea, but I would not have guessed that at all, that he would play 33 minutes and picked up 31 points. Not at all. But really good win for the Philadelphia 76ers. on this Sunday afternoon, and a relatively quick game outside of those two challenges that they had to review overall. Tyrese Maxey with a cheap 11th rebound there at the very end. But he already got the triple double. That's right, man. You get it, a 108-100 victory, and we want to thank everybody from pregame to watch along right now. Again, this one went pretty fast, so this has been pretty fun to sit here and talk, especially when we know we're going to be out of here when the sun is still kind of, 5 o'clock. Yeah, we'll see, but it's bright outside right now, and we're going to keep it bright with a post-game show right here, and we want to thank our sponsor, Coors Light, for sponsoring everything with us here today. Coors Light presented the show, and visit CoorsLight.com/PHLY basketball to get Coors Light delivered or find a store near you. As far as basketball goes, we're choosing chill for our post-game show. We'll see about what happens with the professional football team that's actually in a fight with one of the worst teams in the National Football League. We'll talk about the game when we get back. For Derek, Kyle, Bree, I'm Devon. We'll be back in a few minutes with our post-game show right here following a big afternoon victory for the 76ers right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.